What's up, SC Nation? Welcome back to another video. My name is Ramzi Majaba, in case you didn't know or you're new here, and I'm a sales engineer out of Ottawa, Canada. And my purpose is to help 10,000 sales engineers achieve their goals within the next 5 years. And if you want to know how, check out the SE hotline. But beyond that, today I want to talk to you about salary. How sales engineers are paid. We're going to talk about salary structure, we're going to talk about quota, and we're going to talk about commission. There are several different ways SEs get paid in different companies, and as companies grow and there are more of them out there, they might come up with their own weird structure, but in general, there are three different ways they get paid. Where salary is equals the base, so you only have a base salary. You're no different than most other engineers or other employees in different companies. So you are guaranteed an X amount of dollars every year, whether you make a sale, whether you achieve your objective, whatever it is, that money is guaranteed. Then you have salary, which is base plus bonus, and this bonus is based on performance. I've talked to many recruiters and almost all of them say, oh, that bonus is pretty much guaranteed. It is not. I mean, companies always change the way they pay things and how they calculate how the bonuses are paid, and you might end up getting zero. For example, in a previous company I worked with, they always did how well I did within my group, then how well the group did within the company, and then how well the company did. And we always did well. I did well within my group. My group did well within the company. The company lost money, so we're getting paid zero bonus that year. You never know. The most common way I see sales engineers get paid is base plus commission, and that commission could be based off of a quota provided to you or a percentage of revenue that the entire team provides or the entire team sells within a region, within an organization, whatever it is. But it could be based off of that. When we talk about bonuses and commission, there are a few things that we need to talk about as well in order to figure out how much we're going to get paid. The first thing I want to talk about is called MBO, which is management by objective. Management by objective, as the name would imply, is the manager, the hiring manager, or the lead would provide the sales engineer or the sales engineering team some objectives that they need to achieve. For example, you need to do 10 demos a month, 3 trainings a quarter, whatever it is. It could be a combination of those. And if you hit those targets, that's when you get paid your usually bonuses, not so much commission. But you hit those targets, you get paid. I actually found a nice blog about MBOs, management by objectives, from a company called Exactly, which works in that industry of commission and that sort of thing. So check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below, and it's right here as well. So check it out, and if you have any questions, comments, let me know. From what I've seen, generally speaking, in terms of bonuses, they go up to 10% of someone's salary. It could be more, could be less, but that's what I've seen from the recruiters that I've talked to. So if your salary is 100K, you could get paid up to 110K if you do well. Now the fun part. Let's talk about quotas. Quota is a number provided to the lonely salesperson by the organizational gods above. Bottom line, the CEO talks to the board of directors. They said, oh, we made X amount of dollars. We need this much growth next year. And then the CEO talks to the CRO, the CEO, whoever manages the sales team. They say, we need X amount of growth. The CRO, sales leader, talks to their subordinates, and they talk to their subordinates, and it's basically trickled down quota assignments. And there's a funny video by George Burns about like quota assignments where the CRO tells the sales leader, oh, we need 10% growth, and then the sales leader goes to his subordinates and say, oh, we need 15% growth, and just to hedge their bets and push people to hit their quota. I'll leave a link to it if I find it, but I haven't been able to find it so far. But if you do, let me know let me know if you find that link, and I'm happy to post it in the description below as well. Generally speaking, when it comes to salespeople, the quota is based on what they did last year plus some growth. For example, if the quota was $1 million for the previous year and the salesperson hit $1.2 million, so they overachieved, they went over quota, they say, all right, they made 1.2 million, we're going to need X amount of growth, let's say 10%. So next year, your quota is $1.32 million. On the other hand, if the salesperson's quota is still $1 million, but they only hit 80% of that, so $0.8 million, the organization can simply look at that and say, oh, he underachieved or she underachieved and they should have hit $1 million. We're going to give him 10% growth on top of the 1 million, not the 0.8. So now the quota is $1.1 million. Some companies, obviously, some leaders would understand that, yeah, there's no market for our product in that specific territory, so 10% growth is unachievable, and they might give a lower growth number, and it doesn't have to be the same growth number for every salesperson on the team. Also, quota doesn't have to be a yearly thing. I've seen many startups that have quarterly quotas. Some companies have semi-annual quotas, so every 6 months you get a quota. And there's the normal old-fashioned yearly quotas. Specifically for sales engineers, it's really dependent on the org structure for the sales engineering department. If the sales engineer is tied one-to-one to a salesperson, that's easy. The quota for the sales engineer is the same as the quota for the salesperson. If the SE is tied 1-2, 1-3, again, it's the total of all the salespeople that the SE is tied to. If it's a pooled model, generally speaking, the entire sales engineering team would have the total of all the salespeople's quota that they support. So it's a much larger number, but it's shared between X amount of sales engineers. And that generally encourages teamwork, but there are other ways. For example, some companies actually have a combination of personal quota. So if I'm tied one-to-one to a salesperson, I have my quota tied to that salesperson, plus some team quota as well to encourage that interaction and that the way of working together. That being said, even if it's tied one-to-one, I haven't seen sales engineers not help other sales engineers, mainly because a big portion of our salary is base. So we don't have that problem where, hey, I'm not gonna feed my family if I don't work on my own deals. We're actually happy to help. My experience. Now, finally, we can talk about commission. Commission could be very simple or it could be very, very complicated. Depends on the company you work for and how much they want to confuse the individual. For example, when I first became a sales engineer almost 8 years ago, most of the companies that I've talked to had annual quotas. Also, for every 1% of quota achieved, you get paid 1% of your commission. It is no longer the case because, well, where's the fun in that? It's easy to do math. So now they kind of split it up where they say, it could be a million different combinations, but this is just an example. Before you hit 50% of quota, you get paid 0.5% of commission. So every percent of quota achieved before 50%, you get 0.5% of commission. So half what you would have gotten paid otherwise. Then when you get past 50% of your quota, now you could get paid 1.5% of your commission for every 1% of quota sold. So now you're getting paid more than what you would have gotten paid on the normal one-to-one scale. And I know it's getting complicated, but let's take a simple example. I'll try to put the numbers somewhere here so you can see it. So let's take the example where your commission, if you hit the target, is $50,000. With a simple method where it's one-to-one, every 1% of quota sold, you get paid 1% of commission. If you hit 50% of your quota, you're paid $25,000. With the new model, you get paid $12,500. For the next half, you get paid 1.5% of quota until you achieve 100%. So at 100%, doesn't matter which commission structure you're paid at, because you hit 100%, you get paid 100% of your commission. It's getting there that might be the difference. Let's take an example of achieving, by the end of the period, 80% of your quota. Using the old formula where you get paid 1% of commission for every 1% of quota sold, you would have made $40,000. With the new formula, where you get paid 0.5% before 50% and then 1.5% after 50%, that's a lot of numbers, you would end up making $35,000. So that's $5,000 difference. At 90% similarly, with the old formula, it's $45,000. New formula, $42,500. So you're still missing $2,500, but it's getting closer. They're getting closer together. At 95%, $47,500 with the old formula. The new formula is $46,250. It's getting closer, and it might not matter at 100%, but a lot of times as sales engineers, we don't hit 100%. Another thing to look at is if the commission is capped at a certain point. So if you hit 150% of quota, will you continue to get paid commission? Generally speaking, when you go over 100%, you get accelerators, like 2%, 3%. Accelerators. So if you sell 1% of quota, you get paid 3 times the commission that you would have gotten paid otherwise. But if you hit 150% at that point, they might reduce the accelerator back to 1, for example. Or they might manipulate the numbers whichever way they see fit, whichever way they want to encourage. Some companies say we make the most amount of money between when the salesperson hits between 100% and 150, so we're going to accelerate their commission there. But then if we pay them more than that, it's diminishing returns. So we're going to reduce the accelerator at that point. One thing I want to mention is OTE. OTE stands for on target earning. And I mentioned $50,000 in commission. So that plus the base equals OTE at 100%. When we talk about OTE, it's at 100% of commission, not more, not less. OTE, on target earning. So you could get paid more, you could get paid less. And then there are commission splits or salary splits, where they say 90-10, 80-20, 75-25. These are, the big number is usually the base, small number is usually the commission. When you're getting into sales territory, like salespeople territory, it could be 60-40, 50-50, or 40-60. So these are things that we can take a look at. I mentioned earlier, some companies do their commission based on percent of revenue, not quota achievements. In terms of salary range, it could vary from 70K on target to 300K on target, depending on how well someone's doing, what's their rank, what's their impact on the company. And that's it for me. Get back to work. I'll see you later. Peace.